Yo, 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 what's going on? It's the NRW, where nerds rule the world. It's your boy, Kuya P, and I'm here with the homie from Level Up Comedy. Gonna level us up, Mr. Glenn Lawrence. What's up, Glenn?
What's going on? Leveling up. What's happening, everybody? How we doing? Ready to talk a little bit about Marvel Phase 4 and beyond.
Yes. So already on the channel, you heard us talking about Black Widow, which is now in theaters as of today, y'all. Go see it. When we recorded that review, we couldn't spoil. So now that it's out, we gonna spoil the shit out of that motherfucker, because there's some shit I wanted to say, but I couldn't say it. So I'm gonna say it right now because it's out. We were holding it back, and now I'm gonna give it to you.
Let it out, Kuya P. Let it out.
I enjoyed the film. So if you didn't see that review yet, go check it out. It's on our channel. I enjoyed the film, but there are some parts that I'm like, what? So first up, I want to talk about it. Taskmaster. To me, I'm a huge fan of this character. Was an amazing villain in the comics. I think they could have translated this. I think they did an okay translation for this film, but they've now made him kind of like a 1-0 villain. I don't know if we're gonna get him back, because they totally went left field. They try to really tie this character into Black Widow's history with the Red Room by making it the daughter of, and already I think a lot of fans are gonna be upset with that, especially some male chauvinists, because like, man, y'all made it, y'all kind of like this whole woke culture. You made it a girl now. He's not a dude, and then you tied it to Black Widow and stuff. Like, why'd you do that? And then to me, if you watch my review, or Glenn and I's review, my wife, when she saw it, who's a fan of the X-Men films, when we were watching the X-Men films, they really made it very Weapon X in a way, with Dreykov, played by Ray Winstone, being kind of like your Stryker character, and Taskmaster being kind of like your Wolverine character. Why'd they kind of take that formula and insert it into the MCU with that? Because now they've kind of, like, to me, ruined a character for the future. Because it's a great concept of a character.
So wait, explain it to me. What happened with Taskmaster that makes you think that? Because me seeing the character, I'm like, okay, that fits. And I thought that was actually a good twist, because it connects the villain to Natasha very well.
No, I thought it was worked.
I thought it was a good twist. I thought it worked. So what parts are missing from concept? Taskmaster? Yeah,
it works for this concept, but it takes such a great concept just to fit it into this. You know what I'm saying?
But what happened with the other Taskmaster? So what does the comic book Taskmaster have that this one doesn't?
I'd have to pull that up from Wikipedia, but but it was a guy that, had, I don't know if he was a mutant in a way. Again, I have to pull, it's been so long, but just his amazing skill set that where he can watch anything, and he's just like this ultimate fighter. And then he would later train super villains, or just other villains, to become better fighters. So he was like the ultimate fighter in leagues with Captain America, Black Panther, of hand-to-hand combat. You know what I'm saying? So just an amazing concept of a character. So to me, if with a character like that, to have him play the background, kind of do a slow build with a character like this that can know, he's like an ultimate antagonist. You know what I'm saying? Here, you put him into Black Widow, you kind of fitted him to fit this kind of concept into this character, and then you just kind of have him fight Black Widow real quick, and you see there's a great sequence in there that we saw on the bridge where you see him mirroring the attacks. You know what I'm saying? I think if, like you said during our review, Glenn, if we had a slow build and maybe really build with this character instead of just throwing it all together in one and kind of fully explaining, which they did, like you said during our review, we see him watching it. It's like they showed so much just because they wanted to push this character into the forefront. Here's what he can do, badass. But then, then we tied him to this origin. We kind of made this quirky origin to this character, and in this female character, and just, I don't know, man. But the character still exists that we saw. For the people that are watching the film now, the character can still exist. But I don't know if you've kind of made it I don't know, to me as a writer and having the comics lore, it's a concept of a character that could have been. I don't like the execution works for this in a way. It's like I feel that now. I'm like killing myself, because like I see what your point is. Like, you liked how the character is presented, but to me it's a concept that maybe invent a new character. You know what I'm saying? Kind of take the archetypes, if you will, if this is what you're going to do with it, create a new villain, but if you have such a character in this Taskmaster that I think when the fans are now saying this, we're gonna see that a push back that people are gonna be upset that are like hardcore Taskmaster fans. They're gonna be like, if you could have took this concept and did a slow build with it, it would have been an even greater, more amazing villain, if you will.
I'll just play the foil to what you're saying. Here's why I can dig it. I like the connection that Taskmaster has to Romanoff.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, though. By the way,
no, I get it. But here's what I'm saying is I like where they have taken the character now because they have that skill set, and in a later movie we can see that skill set develop, and we can get kind of some of those points. So I don't think that I don't think is that they have created the character and put the character into the universe where they can't be useful later down the line and give us what you're looking for later down the line. Because if Taskmaster comes back in another film or something, they can still be super badass and really wipe the floor with some Avengers and really put in some work as Taskmaster. I just think that they didn't get enough meat on the bone for this one. So I agree with you there or whatever. But I think Taskmaster was dope in this. I just wanted to see more of this version of Taskmaster. Now, again, I haven't seen how awesome the comic character is, so maybe I'm looking at it with shaded because it's like you've seen the character, you've read what's going on in the comic books, and you're just like, nah, it's just like when you watch Game of Thrones or something, and you're like, no, you don't understand. There was so much more to the mountain, and they really neutered them or what, and it's kind of like the same thing here with Taskmaster. Since I haven't seen that stuff, I'm like, what are you talking about? This is fine. This is great. Everything's okay here. But I thought that what will tell the story, what will really help the story, is figuring out what they do with Taskmaster down the line in the MCU.
Got you. So we'll see. That remains to be seen. I'm ready to see what the world says, especially the diehard Taskmaster fans. Like my boy Chris Flick. Shout out to my boy Chris Flick, amazing artist. Follow him at Capes and Babes. What they're gonna think. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And also, even beyond that, I'm curious, like the male misogynist, if you will, because we got they're amongst these Marvel fans. The fact that they changed the sex of this character to this female character, who I love, Olga Kurylenko, man. I'm a huge fan of her. I met her when she was doing the XXX stuff, with not XXX as in porno films, but in XXX with Vin Diesel. I think she's awesome. She's really cool. But yeah, I thought it was good casting. I think just the concept could have been a different character. And did a different build up with the power sets. I just would have written it differently. But yeah,
I think in addition to everything that I said before, I think having this character being someone that's mind controlled by Dreykov and using some of that technology, I think it fits because if you bring him in later doing something else, you have to basically explain the whole skill set. Whereas with this character, we kind of get that, they were doing mind control experiments. There's, there's a lot of experimentation with mind control, controlling synapses, controlling how people move and what they do and all that type of thing. So I think it kind of fits, and you understand where that origin for the story, the character's power set comes from.
Well, there was never mind control with the comics character. To me, he was a bad guy through and through and trained villains. So it's unnecessary. He's a mercenary. You know what I'm saying?
So the other thing,
they added that mind control element. But let's move on for that, because I think we agree in different ways to that.
Well, the other
speaking of mind control.
One last thing. I was just going to say, it allows Taskmaster to, you don't know if it's going to be antagonist or a protagonist going forward, so that leaves a lot of room open to do whatever in the MCU. But again, I don't know if that's in the comic. Like you said, he's a villain through and through, mercenary, like one of the best mercenaries, like a very Killmonger-esque type of character, in it for himself and train the bad guys. Yeah, that's like why I had so many problems with it. But speaking of mind control, which I think is going to blow a lot of people away, is we find out that a lot of this mind control that was done by the Red Room was used on the Winter Soldier. We couldn't talk on that during our review, but this whole concept of the Red Room and this mind control formula was utilized on the Winter Soldier. What did you think about that nugget? Or did you get that? I missed that.
I missed that nugget.
Yes. I missed that nugget.
So Milena, the scientist played by Rachel Weisz, this mind control stuff that they were using was also utilized by because they're essentially the Russian Hydra is the Red Room in a way.
Right.
That this mind control stuff was used on Russia's favorite weapon in the Winter Soldier. So yeah, man, you may have to go back and see that part, bro. But yeah, I think that was a nugget. So I guess if you missed it, a very important nugget, which also ties in this whole grandiose MC amazing universe. That whole concept. So yeah, man, there you go. Winter Soldier is tied to this whole Red Room and this programming when they're doing that programming of, I forgot all the things that they would say to unlock the Winter Soldier. You know what I'm saying? But this was partially used and a part of that.
Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe I missed that. I have to go watch it again. That's why I'm so happy I'm going to go see it in theaters.
There you go. All right, man. So another spoilery thing. Do we want to go ahead, rush all the way to the ending, or was there any other stuff that we could discuss?
I don't think there's anything else that was too spoilery that we're going to get to. I think the last one is kind of the big cut credit scene. Yeah, you know what I mean. Right. I think we talked about the major ones, which is Dreykov's daughter being Taskmaster.
Yeah. So okay, the ending wrap up. We see Yelena. This happens now, obviously, after Endgame, going up to Natasha's gravesite. Very touching. You know what I'm saying? That was like, oh, man, it kind of hit. You know what I'm saying? It hit a little different, because we know what happened. You kind of like wished at the end, right before the credits, that, man, you kind of, because it was a good movie. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the film. We see this family now together. And, like, man, Scarlet, Black Widow is cool, but we know that she's eventually going to fly off because Mason brought her the Quinjet that you said earlier. She's going to now go off and find the rest of the Avengers, and then we're going to go off into Infinity War Endgame. But you kind of still wanted that family to exist. We got this family reunited. Well, they're not really a family, but kind of like her adopted family together. So now we scroll to the end credits and we see Yelena at the grave site. She sees, paying respects to her sister. And as she's paying respects, we have the new, I was saying Phil Coulson in a way, but also, Nick Fury. He's the one that brought the band together with the initial Avengers. But we have, is it Jennifer or Jessica? Louise Dreyfus.
No. It's Julia Louis Dreyfus.
Julia Louise Dreyfus to basically bring her quote unquote Avengers band together again. So
Valentina. We saw her. Contessa Alondro. She has like 15 different names.
Yes, she has 15 different names. We saw her during Falcon and the Winter Soldier, with U.S. Agent now, the formerly the new Captain America. Now
Contessa
recruiting
Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine.
There you go. AKA Madam Viper of Hydra. Yes, recruiting U.S. Agent. And now her newest recruit in Yelena Belova, the new Black Widow. Mind blowing.
Yeah. And then, or we don't know, because it sounded like they had history before, so she might be her first recruit. We don't know. Like we're going. It's all
that's a good one. You're right there. And so yeah, we finally see that. So it's kind of cool, kind of a mirroring the initial Avengers with like Coulson and Fury recruiting the team. We see, we knew she recruited the U.S. Agent. Now maybe recruiting the new Black Widow in the sister and giving her first mission. And who's that mission? Hawkeye, who, she says was the reason her sister died. But really, we all know that, she sacrificed herself to save him and everyone else during Endgame. What do you think of that, man? And then we'll go forward with that. I want to stop right there at that minute. What did you think of that?
I'm very excited to see where it goes. I thought, because I know that they said that Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine was in Black Widow. I thought she would have played more of a role in there because they were making it seem like she was much more of a character, but she only had kind of like the one scene in there at the end. I was like, oh, that's not very like that. Like, it doesn't seem like that would have ruined Falcon and Winter Soldier. As a matter of fact, it would have been very confusing, I feel like, to see that character in Black Widow and then not and then not see them until Falcon and Winter Soldier. Be like, who was that? I feel like it hits more now that we've seen Falcon and Winter Soldier already, and it kind of makes that connection of Yelena coming into the MCU much more poignant, because we get to see all the things that everyone has been through. We get to see her get that, the target of Clint Barton, and it makes sense. I feel like if this movie would have came out when they wanted it to, like in between Civil War, and there would have been a lot of confusion, you know what I mean? Like, why didn't she find him in Infinity War? What, like, I guess maybe she got, it would have just added a lot of questions. I like where it is now. I like what we have now. And I'm looking forward to see that battle, that showdown. And maybe in that movie, we get the Budapest scene.
Well, I got the answers for you, brother, because again, if you're following what we're getting on Disney Plus, we have a Hawkeye series that's coming with Clint Barton, Jeremy Renner returning as the character, and Haley Steinfeld as the new Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, his daughter. Nice. And if you head over to IMDb, you'll see that Yelena Belova, Florence Pugh, is back, and she is in all 8 episodes in the new Hawkeye series. So to me, she is with her getting the target that Hawkeye is her next target. Maybe she's the foil that, is, and the whole 8 episodes is her going after Hawkeye and his daughter. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get those showdowns. Who knows yet? We're not, I'm looking at the IMDb right now. Jeremy Renner as Clint Barton, Hailey Steinfeld. There's a character, Vera Farmiga is playing Eleanor Bishop. So I'm assuming that's the mother character, although it was a different character that was in the wife. So I don't know. I'm slightly confused with some of the new castings because they're changing it, because Hailey Steinfeld didn't play the daughter during Endgame and Infinity War. It was actually one of the Russo's it was actually one of the Russo's, the Russo brothers, one of their daughters played Kate Bishop. So it's going to be interesting. And now that Florence Pugh is listed as playing Yelena Belova in all 8 episodes of the Hawkeye series that's coming to Disney Plus, it's very intriguing, bro.
I wonder what that's like
when that update happened, because I don't recall seeing Florence Pugh listed on the cast listing for Hawkeye.
It was probably a surprise. Yeah. But I'm very interested to see or hear like what that was like in the Russo house. It's like, I could have been Kate Bishop.
I know, right?
But yeah, it would be very interesting to see what happens in that series, because we'll get to see that connection. I just love Marvel because I love to hear the conversations when 2 characters meet that have known about each other, like having that conversation between Tony Stark and Captain America, like because Tony Stark's dad, Howard Stark, loved Captain America, and like it really kind of fractured the family, him like chasing that dream, and to have Tony talk to him and be like, oh, I want to punch you in the face because like not only are you annoying me right now, like my dad like used to neglect me because of you, like all those stories, and even down to seeing like Rocket Raccoon meet like some of the characters, or what was the other one where Bruce Banner is like, we have an Ant-Man and a Spider-Man, like just little things like that. I love to see the interaction. So I'll really like to see the interaction between Yelena and maybe even talking about what happens to the other Avengers or how they process being normal people amongst these Avengers.
So super exciting. So now that, because I didn't see her listed in the cast, knowing that this Hawkeye series is happening, we just got this new Black Widow film. That's where we're going to get that story continuing on after Black Widow. And then as well, to go along with that, I don't know if you saw the new Shang-Chi trailer for Shang-Chi, which is going to be the next Marvel film after Black Widow.
I got to look it up. I got to look at the next trailer. I've been meaning to put it on the big screen here. I've been waiting to watch it.
Well, we're going to talk on something real quick, so I hope you don't mind. I'm about to spoil you a little bit. So again, we see Julia Louis-Dreyfus building up her quote unquote Avengers, which to me, again, if you're looking at the forecasted MCU universe, we're getting one of the films we're getting is going to be, oh my God, as soon as I say it now, I'm losing it. The name of the
Eternals,
the Thunderbolts. No, the Thunderbolts.
Oh, okay.
If you're familiar with the Thunderbolts as a comics fan, you know that team was presented to replace the Avengers, but they're really a team of villains. And we already know that, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is not a good character. So to me, what I think is we're seeing the buildup of the Thunderbolts to lead into that film. So we have U.S. Agent. We now have the quote unquote Black Widow and Yelena Belova. And for those that have seen the Shang-Chi trailer, and I'm going to spoil it a little bit for you, at the end of the Shang-Chi trailer, we see Wong, BD Wong's character, well, not BD Wong, but Wong from Doctor Strange. Yes. Yeah. Fighting against Abomination, who we haven't seen since the Incredible Hulk. Oh. And so if you're building a quote unquote Avengers-like team, but a villain team, you have your Captain America character in US Agent. You have your Black Widow's character in the newest Black Widow. You need a Hulk-like character. So to me, I think we're going to see Julia Louis-Dreyfus pop up at the end of Shang-Chi to get Abomination, because you need your Hulk-like character.
I see your
where I'm going with this.
You're projected again, Patrick. Let's see if I feel like this. You might be 1 for 2 on this one. You might get. I think this one you might get right. I think I'm gonna get this one. I know. I think you're gonna get this one. I pulled
back because, like I said, with the reviews with Mephisto. But again, we're getting a Thunderbolts movie that's already been forecasted. You know what I'm saying? We did see Madam Viper, Julie Louis-Dreyfus, pick up U.S. Agent. We saw her pick up. And if you're going back, the formula works. That's what they did with the previous films. We saw her pick up Black Widow at the end of this. You have Shang-Chi dropping as the next Marvel film. You introduce Abomination in that trailer. You need a Hulk-like character. You get an Abomination. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
Building up to Thunderbolts. So just check out that trailer, bro, after we're done with this. But just again, if you look at the slate coming up, we're gonna see Yelena return in the Hawkeye series. And we know we're getting the Shang-Chi trailer. Abomination is in it. It's been confirmed. At first, because when you saw it, you could tell that it was Abomination, but it wasn't like cemented. But it recently was put out that Kevin Feige said, yes, that is Abomination that you're looking at, and that also is.
Oh, hold on. All right. Well, we got to wrap this up because I got to go watch this trailer now.
So there you go. All right, Glenn. So man, those are our forecasting. Let us know what you think. We spoiled it away, but again, we saved this until this launch today of Black Widow in theaters. Go see the rest of our review of what we thought about the film. It was a good ride, a different Marvel take on the franchise. Yeah. I had fun with it, but I think people are going to be disappointed in Taskmaster. I thought it was, although, like I said, I think he played his part in this film, but I think for fans that really wanted to see that character get built up into the universe, I think that's going to be the one thing that we're going to see people, feedback on. That's going to be a little different. But there you go. But I think people are going to get excited, with this new Black Widow. I think a great new introduction to a new Black Widow, and then now moving forward, and we're going to get the Hawkeye franchise and this build up to a new team with the Thunderbolts. I think those are going to be the biggest things popping up out of everybody seeing Black Widow now.
Well, if we know one thing about Marvel, we know that time heals all wounds. And they retcon really well when they're moving forward and kind of tying things up. They made Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3 much better movies after watching everything else. So I think the same thing here. Give them some time; they'll clean it up to where you might look back on Black Widow like, okay, I can dig it. I can rock with that.
So before we leave, though, Glenn, I have to ask you because again, we do some Marvel DC comparisons. If you had to put Black Widow up against other female superhero films, where would you rank it? I have to ask you.
There's a much better, I think, depiction of kind of female power.
So as like a male, though, Wonder Woman 84, Black Widow.
Wonder Woman 84 was trash. Okay, I'll say that it was trash compared to this. And as outlandish as the action was in this, I still would take it over Wonder Woman 84. And I think the storytelling is better in this as well. Even those points that we have that we didn't really jive with in this, I still think work better than what we had in Wonder Woman 84. Works a lot better. And I like, this because it's not a origin story. It's a continuation story. So it fits in a little bit of a different, I think they did a good job of giving Black Widow her due in the franchise. They did an adequate job. They didn't do an amazing job. They did an adequate job of putting her into the MCU and giving her her own movie. I think people would be happy with seeing this. And as comparing to, the DC universe, I just think Marvel better storyteller. They execute a little bit better than DC.
All right. So Black Widow over Wonder Woman 84, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
Black Widow against Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Where are you going first? If you're watching it, you're having to choose to watch something. Black Widow.
I like the first half of Wonder Woman, so it's hard. It's like the first half of Wonder Woman. I think blows this away is really great.
I'm with you on that. But I like the opening, but the ending of Wonder Woman falls off.
Yeah, it falls apart.
And for me, I'm choosing Black Widow over Wonder Woman. Unfortunately, as much as I love Wonder Woman,
but I think
the ending sucks for me.
Yeah, I think the first part of Wonder Woman is great, but again, I think in terms of women, tell us if we're wrong. I think this is a more empowering female movie than Wonder Woman was.
Nah, I'll switch on that. I think Wonder Woman's more empowering than this one.
No.
But if a better film,
how many times did a dude save Black Widow in this? How many times did a dude save Black Widow in this? And Wonder Woman, Steve Trevor saves Wonder Woman throughout the entire film.
Nah. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
He saved her on Themyscira.
But let's put them up. Let's put them against each other. So you have to choose Wonder Woman or Black Widow
all day.
Black Widow all right. All day. So there we go. Black Widow beats the Wonder Woman's. All right. Now here's the last one: Black Widow versus Captain Marvel. That one's a difficult one for me.
I really like.
I got to give the edge to Captain Marvel. I gotta get this.
I like this better. I actually
really.
I just think and I'll tell you why. Because Black Widow is a much more filled out character, and the way in which she fights is much more visceral. She's a hand-to-hand combat fighter, whereas Captain Marvel has superpowers. So I feel like I gravitate to that more. I like the hard hits. That's the one thing we didn't talk about in our review that we should have talked about. I love the stunt work in this film.
Yeah, amazing stunt work.
Stunt work in this film was great. Marvel always gives you great stunt work, and it was very, very clean when Taskmaster is fighting Black Widow and how he's adapting her style or whatever. So I thought that was good. I would give the edge to Black Widow because she does her own stunts. She doesn't use a Tesseract to get
because of the story and the way they use Taskmaster. Captain Marvel to me is a more complete film. But I will give the edge regarding stunt work to Black Widow. To me, Captain Marvel wins out.
I'm so sad. I'm upset with you right now for that determination.
All right. So let us know what you think. If Glenn's right, if I'm wrong, or if I'm right and he's wrong, let us know and all that in the comments. Glenn, let them know how they can reach out to us to debate this topic even further.
Listen, always follow us on Nerds Rule the World. You might find us under New Release Wednesday, but we're always giving you great content. So look for us there. Also, you can check me out, Level Up Comedy, levelupcomedy.com, Level Up Comedy on your YouTube, your Instagram, your Facebook, and what have you. Also, Glenn Lawrence Comedy if you want to laugh a little bit. So there you have it. That's me. That's how you can find me. And tell me I was right. Track me down and tell me I was right.
Nah, Captain Marvel's a better film of the Marvel women-led films, personally. Anyway. But the better stunt work is in Black Widow. Anyway, follow my boy Glenn. I love Glenn, man. I love you, bro. All the love, man. Make sure you check him out. Level Up Comedy. He's hilarious. For me, it's your boy Cool Yappy, aka Patrick Michael Strange. You can follow me on TikTok. I forgot to say that. I need to start promoting that. You can follow me on TikTok. I don't know why I did it, but I'm gonna try. I only have a couple things posted. I am the legend Kuya P out on TikTok. The legend Kuya P. Check that out. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at StrangeSince1977, as well as at Temple Far East. Over at the Nerds of Color, where we give you POC representation within pulp culture, and my Show Pal Show over there as well, and that's at Show Pal Show. And obviously here at the NRW, where nerds rule the world. It's your boy Kuya P with Glenn Lawrence. Level Up Comedy. We are out of here. Until next time, let us know in the comments and tell me that I am right over Glenn.
No,
we're out of here.